Filthy. Filthy glasses. All this crap. Filthy glasses. Still filthy. Breathing on them with my coffee breath, for some reason, does not. Does not do anything. It's weird. Just strange. Thank you. There's Nick Zinn. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Right there. In the flesh, baby. In the... I don't know. I'm guessing you're in flesh. I don't know what you're doing today, to be honest with you. I think I'm going to plug this... my little mini fan in. Get some air rolling. Because it is not windy out at all. Slight breeze. Hope you had a good weekend, Nick. Hope your weekend went well. Quiet weekend, which is good. I had a weekend. I'll get into it once we get some more people in. Peter Marsh, only 2 of us in here so far. Nope, 3. Mr. Frank in the house. So 3 he is. Says we got 4 viewers though, so Mr. Frank is more people. That's what a lot of people say about him. That's pretty much, I think that was his thing in high school. Everybody said, Mr. Frank, he's more people. I'm actually not having a good day. The depression is kicking my ass. It's been kicking my ass since Friday. No, not good people, more people. That is true. More people, not Mr. Jeff, they say, is good people. So I'm just in a mood. So I'm going to try. I got to get some writing in. I've not written since like Thursday, I think. Yeah, Thursday. I do have chocolate-covered Oreos, though. Oh, they're delicious. Well, for the first time since 1:11 this morning. How's that for pet dog? Yeah. You wrote, though. That's the goal, right? Isn't that our goal? Freaking right. I'm glad you did. Felt really good, exactly like sex, except nothing at all like it. I can see that. I just wrestled with a 140-pound second gator. Oh, no, not gator, grater. Oh, okay. 140 pounds? Well, that kid like 7? That's like 20 pounds a year. I'd be like 1,080 pounds right now. Yeah, that was a big kid. Was it just some random second grader you just saw and you were just like, I'm going to wrestle this kid? Or was it like, were you paid to do it? Like, was it like in a big event? Was his name Psycho? I don't even think Psycho's 140 pounds. Although he is as tall as a second grader. Peter Marsh is like one of those old Texas guns that he just walks around and second graders are like, I can take this, old man. I got this. Technically, I was paid to do it as part of my job since I work in behavior. That's got to suck. You know that you got to do shit like that. I'm not saying it's a job. I just mean in general. I mean, I'm sure your job is rewarding. I have a good friend, Dan Flanagan, who's popped in here a few times. He plays in an acoustic punk band, and that's what he does. He does here in Florida. He does behavioral something or other, and yeah, I mean, just having a fight kids, you know. I mean, it's insane. I feel bad for the kids because they sweat like a motherfucker. Well, you know what? Technically, though, hopefully this second grader will be like, yeah, don't wrestle this dude. This dude stinks. Like, I'm gonna be good from now on because this dude just smells. Is he a writer too? No, he is not. He is a. I met him. I met Dan because we used to do book signings or events with me with my books and him. He used to do beard oil products. Stinky marsh, yeah. You have that marsh smell to you. Like you like the freaking swamp thing. Dan and Dan always has been. Dan is originally from New York and down here. When we met, he's several years younger than me. We talked about swamp ass. We talked about music and punk bands and all the shows we both saw growing up and all the bands we both love, all the hardcore bands, all the punk bands, all the metal bands and stuff. So we bonded and shared some tables over the years. And then when they changed all the laws about doing the beard oil and stuff, you had to get certified and you had to have this license and that license. He stopped doing it. And it was a side gig for him anyway. And he's always done his band. He's always been in different bands. I've been in a couple, one or two of his band videos. So who knows? But good guy. Every now and then, like maybe once or twice a year, he actually pops in here, and has a break during his lunch or something, and he pops in and says hi. So good guy. Stillfire Bellows is the name of his band now. I think you can find him on Spotify. And again, it's an acoustic punk band. There you go. That's your thing. That's not your thing. I don't care. Listen to it anyway, because then he'll get 1/14 of a penny every 400 times you listen to the song. He's good people. Him and Mr. Jeff, good people. Mr. Frank, some people. A people. Mario Van Peebles. Frank, I said I was going to have a package mailed out to you. That will be tomorrow. I will put it in the mail. Tomorrow. You know, your Christmas presents. Have your people call my people. Exactly. Go to mail your Christmas present on Thursday. Good move. See what I gave you. And they're like, all right, well, I'm taking half this shit out. They spent like $8 on me. Xmas people. Oh, I watched Lover, Stalker, Killer on the flicks. Good stuff. Okay, I will add that to my list. So on the on March 9th, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, which is the not this Saturday coming up, but the following Saturday. My wife goes back to her mom's, and instead of it being like 5 very, very long days, it's like 3 weeks. It's like 20 or more days. So I'm gonna have to load up on stuff to watch. So that will be on that list. It will be. It will all be good. I'm hoping Amanda Ward pops in today, though, because I have a couple of Amanda Ward stories, Amanda Ward adjacent stories that she was involved in over this weekend. And I would like her take on a couple things as well. It's one of those docs with a surprise twist, but you can see it coming from a mile away. Still a good watch. Yeah. I just finished a book, one of those Nordic noir books, second book in the series. And about a third of the way in, I'm like, I know who the killer is. Actually, one of the killers, because in all fairness, 2 different people died. But they think it's the same person. But I knew it was two different deaths. So I was just like, it's still good though. Even though I kind of guessed it, it was still a very good book. So hoping that the woman writes a third. The Michael O'Connell in the house. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, no longer missing in action, which is great. Or no longer Mia, which is the nickname we all give you, Mia O'Connell. We love calling you Mia O'Connell. Mr. Franklin's calling you Mama Mia O'Connell a lot as well. So there is that. I saw something, I think last week, Michael, that I thought you would be interested in. They're looking for like horror poetry. I can't remember now where I saw it or what it was. So you're welcome. You're welcome for all of that non-information. You probably already know what it is anyway. But I was gonna message you, but then I was just like, I'm depressed. I don't want to do anything. So you know, I'm not going to. There's Amanda Ward. Jeez, you've been looking for her for an hour. look at Michael and Mr. Frank writing poetry together. That's wonderful. This really is what this Twitch is for. This might be the last episode, because where do you even go from here? The two of you writing beautiful poetry together. Violets ain't oranges, right? I haven't told any stories yet, Amanda, about our weekend. Who is this messaging me? Wow, you're rhyming orange with dingus. That's amazing. Uh-oh. this is going to be about. I always hate when somebody you haven't talked to in a long time is like, hey, can you call me? Ugh. I fell asleep for about 12 hours after driving up. I went to bed. I laid my weary head down at 6 p.m. on Saturday night. And I was restless for most of the night, but I didn't get up until 9:30 Sunday morning. So that was a good sleep. I was just mentally drained. Just drained. What a friggin' couple of days that was. Then my wife around 11:30 called. I was still laying in bed. It's 11:30. I'm just still 2 hours after getting up. I'm still just laying there reading. The cat's running around. And she's like, I'm on my way home. I was like, thank God. And she's like, I'm gonna bring us food. I said, perfect. She brought us some Bono's barbecue, which I didn't even eat the whole thing. So that was good that she came home Sunday, and then we got to. She had to take a nap though. She was exhausted from her long week at her mom's, and then and that was it. And then we watched. We ate taquitos for dinner, and we watched Marshall Spade, the first 3 episodes or so, which I thought was pretty good so far. I like it. I've always been a big fan. All right, so I gotta remind me when I get off here. I have to make a phone call. I have to call somebody. So I'm not sure how long I'm even going to be on today. To be honest with you, just not feeling it. Let me get some writing. I gotten stuff done this morning. I've gotten stuff off of the to-do list. So, there is that. I thought I had a good book signing on Saturday, Amelia Island Book Festival. Not bad. When you get off of here, you have to call somebody. Don't forget. Thank you, Frank. Thank you very much. Now I won't forget because you said it to me now. How were your poops today? I have not pooped today. Which is weird because I thought with eating like 10 taquitos for dinner last night, I would poop. I have not so far, which is really odd for me. My stomach has been a mess. We did the book festival on Saturday, and they gave us, everybody got half a pub sub. And Amanda was nice enough to go and get me a pub sub. Even though she also brought me Dunkin' coffee in the morning and an apple fritter from Dunkin', and she picked me up and drove us to the book event. So it was nice having her there. Amelia Island is much better than Jekyll Island. Much better. So I ended up selling 9 books. Which is funny because I sold the first Dirty Deeds. I sold Shakedown, the first book in First Coast Thrillers. And I sold St. John's River Monster. Oh, and I sold 2 Duncan books. So those are the only 4 books that I sold, with everything on the table. What is it about pub subs? They're delicious. If you're in Florida now, again, you're in New Jersey, so you understand what a real sub is, a grinder, a hoagie. You know, you're getting something this big. Well, pub subs are like this big, but they're delicious. The bread is great. It's just really good. The drive went quick with someone to talk to. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't drive out there and drive back on my own. On the way home, I might have fallen asleep and been killed. But the event was good. Slow as far as people coming in, not as busy. I don't know if the bread is really good, and the combination of everything. So Amanda got me a ham. It was like ham, American cheese, and a lot of lettuce on it. And I was burping up lettuce for the rest of the day. Also, a couple of little cookies, which was nice, and a bottle of water. So that was lunch, and I ended up eating the whole thing just sitting at my table. And the event was good. I met a ton of people. I gave out a ton of book cards and a ton of business cards. So, and a lot of people were asking. In fact, one person said, "Oh, do you happen to be on anything on Kindle Unlimited?" And I said, "Yeah, most of these books are." And I pointed out the they want to know about the First Coast Thrillers, and so standing there looked it up and said, "Okay, I just don't downloaded that one, so I'll start reading that." And I was like, "You know what? Thank you. That's perfect." The lady next to me did this annoying thing all day. So she has her books, and you walk up, and she immediately says, "Do you like ebooks?" And if they said yes, she said, "Good, because." And if you said no, "Oh, too bad, because the first 3 books in this series are free right now in ebook. You can get them. You can download all the first 3 books in this series for free, and then next week the last 3 books in the series will be free. They're also on Kindle Unlimited." And I'm thinking, so you don't want to sell the print books on your table. You're trying to give away these books for free. Like, it made no sense. She sold a bunch of books. I mean, people knew who she was. She was an older woman, local. Um, and then I had, when you sit next to somebody at a book signing and you listen to the same pitch over and over and over, and you really want to go, "Yeah, that's not a good pitch. That's an odd pitch. That's an even sales. Yeah, odder. Exactly. Like, what are you trying to give books away for free?" So her thing was, she says, you come up after she does that weird pitch, and the people are actually looking at print books. And she says, "This one's set here in Amelia Island, but it's not called Amelia Island. I call it Sophia Island. Because as you know, King George named Amelia Island after one of his daughters. So I named it after one of his other daughters from my book. So all the businesses in here are real businesses, but like the Sand Dollar restaurant, I call it the Sandbar. And certain streets, and she's naming streets, I named it this, like, whatever it would be, like Bird's View Street, I call it Pelican's View Street." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But you heard the same thing over and over and over. And I really just want to say that it's not Amelia Island. It's Sophia Island. You changed the name, so it's not Amelia Island. Or why don't you just keep the damn thing Amelia Island? I'm surprised you invited her to lunch too. Right? Every now and then I make the right decision, Amanda. Every now and then. So she would just annoy me. And then this woman comes up with her 13-year-old daughter, because the book lady says, "Oh, how old are you now?" She says, "Oh, I'm 13. And no, that's not on Tuesday. It's the 2nd. It's the 14th. Unless you guys want to get together on next Tuesday. But I have it marked on mine as the after. As the 2nd Tuesday of the month. Mr. Mamma Mia O'Connell. Oh, you're joshing. Be a little jokester there. I get it. Thursdays because it's closed Tuesdays. Yeah. Oh, I get it. It's on Tuesday, right? All right. Yeah. Anyway, so the 13-year-old says, "Oh, I'm writing a book now. I've just started it. I'm only a few lines into it." And then she starts explaining her book to this woman. And I really just want to go, "Hey, I've seen this movie. It's called The Hunger Games. It's literally The Hunger Games. Oh, these kids, and there's a maze, and there's monsters, and blah blah blah. That's The Hunger Game. You're writing The Hunger Games." Yeah, I was also slow on that joke. Michael's humor is way too intelligent and pompous for the. We're commoners, Michael. Tone it down a little bit. Know your audience. Yeah, way too subtle. And I was annoyed at that girl too. And then at one point, I had my hand on the table and I'm just looking at it, and then I started dreaming. So I know I fell asleep at one point with my eyes open, which is a weird thing because as I'm dreaming, I'm thinking I'm dreaming, and I could just fall out of my chair, or I could bang my head, or like how's that going to look? And then is Amanda going to know to pack up my books and take them to the hospital with me? I mean, it's just a lot of I don't know. Yeah, read the room is right. So that was annoying. The woman who pissed me off on Friday, she came over and apologized. And after Andrea from the Amelia Island basically said to her, hey, Armand's not coming to our Friday coffee things anymore because you piss him off every time. So you need to straighten this out. So she came over. She actually was literally crying, which makes me feel good. I'm going to be honest with you. I might be an asshole for saying this, but the fact she was crying made me feel better, at least. And they were real tears, not those crocodile tears that the rest of you always use on me to try to get me to give you money. And she was like, I have such respect for you, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you act like an asshole to me. Stop being a jerk to me. I don't know why you're arguing. Your points are not valid. I don't know why you're arguing with me. I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not telling you to do things. I'm telling you this is what I did. Good and bad. So how are you arguing with me about that? So it was just annoying. But anyway, so she cried and then she ran off, which was good. So I guess I'm going to do the coffee house next month, is what I'm saying. And it's actually a really good group. There was like 8 or 9 of us on Friday. So, I mean, except for her, everybody is all right. They did invite me and Amanda out to a Cuban restaurant for dinner Saturday night afterwards, and I'm like, no, I'm going home. I'm hanging out with my daughter. I make excuses. And then I said to Amanda, hey, if they ask you, yeah, she used me as well. I'm his ride, which was great. So we did that. Then we went to me and Amanda. I sent my wife a message, and I said we're leaving. We're leaving here. I said me and Amanda are leaving here, and I said BJ and then bed. And then my wife thought that was funny because she knew that Amanda is totally attracted to me, but I love her too much. And Amanda honestly couldn't give me half of what Shelly does with my business stuff and all the rest of it. We went to BJ's restaurant, and I had the couscous mac and cheese balls, which were delicious, and some sliders. And then we ate, and then Amanda dropped me home, and then I friggin' passed out for the next 15 and a half hours. My wife bought me a brand new cart. It's got these giant wheels. It looks like the Mars rover. And I put 2 full crates and my book rack in it. And it's awesome. And it was the first time I used it Saturday. And bring it in, and then as we're leaving, we start going. I'm like, oh, I can't go down the steps. Let's just go to the front. They have the ramp. So I turn it around, and there's so many people that are just assholes. Like, get out of the way. You see I'm trying to do something, but they're just walking and walking. So I turn it, and the wheels lock underneath. And now it doesn't move. Now I got to drag it. And I'm like, she just paid a shitload of money for this thing. It's the first time I'm using it, and already I broke it. So I'm dragging it out. Shelly hasn't looked at it yet. So I drag it out, and then Amanda's like, I'm going to go get the car. And I'm like, good, because there's no way I'm dragging this across a field. So I'm sitting there with Amanda's stuff and that, and then some old man is there, and he sees me dragging. He's like, well, what's the matter? I said, oh, the wheel's locked. Oh, let me look at it. So he's playing with it. Amanda sat down on the ground in the gym and looked at it for like 15 minutes. Couldn't figure it out. It's just completely locked up. So now this old man is trying to fix it. And he keeps pulling it in front of everybody. And the lady who's trying to keep everything going, she's like, can you move that out of the way? And I'm like, I'm sorry. Hey, and I'm pulling it, and he's just annoying the shit out of me. So then Amanda pulls up, so I'm like, hey, I'll figure this out at home. And he's like, oh, maybe if we do. I'm like, I'll figure it out at home. Like, I'm not going to sit here for another hour with you, and you're not going to be able to fix it anyway. At this point, I'm folding the damn thing in and throwing it in the back of the car, you know? And then when I pulled it up, I just, like, left everything and I just pulled it into the garage and closed the garage. I'm like, I'll worry about this. I'll worry about this tomorrow. But I told Shelly about it. And it was, and then she's like, I'm going to fix it in like 5 minutes. I said, and I hope you do. But she hasn't looked at it yet. And they try to get me back in to pull forward, like, yeah, so she parks the car, and it takes us all of, Amanda has a suitcase with all of her shit in it. And I have 2 crates and a rack and that thing, which you just pull the thing and it folds up. So it takes us all of, I don't know, 45 seconds to throw that in the back. And she just pops the back of the car. We just throw everything in. This lady's like, no, you got to move up. You got to move up. There's nobody behind us. There's nobody coming. And we just ignored it. And the lady's trying to grab the crates. And I'm like, I got it. Like, what, are you going to hand me a crate? I'm right here. This is the motion. What are you going to... You're going to pick it up at 4 inches for me? Get the fuck away from me. And then we drove off. And then Amanda, she spun her back wheels and kicked up dust and smoke. And the lady shot rocks into her face. The lady fell down screaming and stuff. It was maybe that. I don't remember if that happened or not. I wasn't looking back. And then Amanda complained that she was, I drove a minivan. There were no spinning wheels. I didn't know if it was you or if it was one of the muscle cars behind us spinning the wheels. I knew one of those was doing it. Then Amanda complained, I'm never doing this again, like she does it after every book signing. Then I reminded her that I'll talk her into it again, and then she'll be mad at me again next year. Amanda had a guy next to her that would say to her, oh, how many books did you sell? And she'd be like, oh, 3. He's like, oh, I sold 4. And then like an hour later, oh, how many books have you sold so far? She's like, oh, 6. He's like, oh, I sold 7. Like, no matter what number she gave, he had sold one more book. Which I thought is hysterical. Cat's going nuts. There's a butterfly out there. You should have said to him, yeah, oh, I just sold, you didn't see I just sold 208 books. He'd be like, oh, I'm at 209. Oh, I sold a baseball book as well. I wanted to throw punch him. Yeah, I can see that would annoy the shit out of you. There's a New York Times best-selling children author, James Ponti, who also writes for Nickelodeon and a bunch of other Disney and a bunch of other things. He writes a bunch of kids' TV shows and he's got like 4 award-winning series. He was there, and he was wearing a Suns jersey, Hagerstown Suns from Maryland, the old Baltimore Orioles AA team. And so he came over and he was looking at my baseball book. I didn't know who he was. I just saw some customer, reader walking around, and he looked at my baseball book. And I was like, obviously you're a baseball fan. He's like, yeah. And he's like, what is it? I said, it's a jumbo shrimp. He goes, oh, they used to be the Suns. I said, yeah. I said, I mean, that's Hagerstown, what you're wearing. He's like, oh, my God. Everybody keeps thinking, because I'm up here, that it's a Jacksonville thing. He's like, you're the first person that knew it wasn't the Jacksonville Suns. And I said, yeah. So anyway, he's like, all right. And then the guy that was with him was like, hey, we got to go. So he's like, I'll be back. And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, like I've heard that, I don't know, 15 times. So he leaves, and then at the end of the day, it's like almost 4 o'clock. I see him sitting in the row where the guests are sitting. And he's got a line of people, all kids mostly. And he's selling books and signing books. And I was like, oh, he's actually somebody. So I had to look him up. So then he starts walking, and he points at me as he's walking. So to be a nice guy, I got up, and I walked around. Then he came around, and then he was like, $10, right? I'm like, yeah. And so we started talking about the book and stuff. And he's like, oh, can you sign it for me? I'm like, oh, yeah. But then I was like, I'm not at my table. So I had to go to Amanda's. She gave me some weird color to sign with. And he's like, James. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And so that was kind of cool. So hopefully he'll read it and maybe post it or something, comment about it. And because I said, hey, it's not only the jumbo shrimp, it's me growing up as a baseball fan. And even though I grew up in New Jersey, I'm a huge Red Sox fan. And he's like, oh my God, I'm a huge Red Sox fan too. I grew up, Red Sox Nation and everything. I was like, oh, really cool. And then he's like, you live here? I said, I live in Jacksonville. He's like, oh, I'm in Orlando. I said, oh, okay, so not, I always complaining. I like colored pens to sign. That's so obnoxious, signing with colored pens. I don't know. So that was cool. And again, I met a bunch of people and a bunch of people came around and I had met before. A lady came around. She's like, "Oh my God, I read your Duncan book, and that was last year. I bought it here. That was amazing." And blah blah blah. So I had a I had a good time, except I was fucking exhausted, and that might have been it. I think I was just really really tired, the whole thing. So it was still a good time. So I think my next signing now is AuthorCon now in April. I have nothing in March. I'm not doing the market thing at the coffee shop next month either. I think we have a birthday or something that Sunday, and even if we don't, that's my thing. I felt less annoyed this time, and that's always good when you feel less annoyed. Imagine that magical book event you're going to go to one time in your life, and you're not going to be annoyed at all. That it will be magical. So at this point, I'm going to do it again next year. I think that was my third or fourth time doing it. I will. Kidding me? Yeah. I don't know how that actually happens. I just feel like the bad part of doing those signings is the idiots around you and listening to that same stupid spiel over and over. Because I try to mix it up a little bit. I just try to talk about the book, but not give the whole elevator pitch about every book. But you get a lot of the annoying people like, oh, this is my book, which is going to rip off the Hunger Games, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you everything about this book, which is basically the movie that you saw. Then I had somebody who walked up, dude, who was like, old enough to know he's probably in his 40s, and he goes, oh, the price. He goes, Rat, right? And I went, huh? Rat. It's a Rat song. I said, no, it's a Twisted Sister song. No, dude, that's a Rat song. So I said, no, 100% sure that's a Twisted Sister song. Yeah, I beg to differ, he says. And I said, oh, well, you can beg to differ all you want. It's definitely a Rat song. It's definitely a Twisted Sister song. Because at that point, I'm like, you ain't buying anything anyway. You're just being an idiot. And then I said, you could look it up. You got a phone in your hand. And then he takes a couple steps back, and then he looks it up and he goes, huh, it is Twisted Sister. Huh. And then he just walks away. I'm like, you motherfucker. you know? Oh my God, this kid was like, I don't know, 3 years old, no shoes on, crazy hair, running around. Running into people, running around, and his dad, who looked like some Swedish hippie dude with long hair and this big giant beard, is just chasing him and laughing. They're having a great time, and I'm thinking, dude, do this outside. Like, this kid is like overtired, and you should not be hanging out at this for like 6 hours with this kid. Kids climbing under tables. Thankfully, it did not affect me. Otherwise, I was like, this kid is tiring me out. Like, I'm tired already. Frank, you're going to get your wish. I got to go to the bathroom right now. So you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back. Move. back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Whew. The hippie guy kept trying to sell me on his YA book while holding that screaming toddler. In what world does that sales pitch work? Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't know he was also a writer until afterwards. I just thought he was an asshole that had nothing better to do and was just wandering around. Mr. Frank, I'm good now. I'm good. Whew. So that was that. But otherwise, I had a good time. I will do it again next year. I talked to a couple people that were at the, I don't know if I told you this, Amanda, that were at the other thing, the Gainesville signing last month. And they had done it before, and they said, well, it was better this time. It was probably the best one they've had. But it was not busy. And there were a lot more people, but they were more college students from Florida or from Santa Fe College were basically there to help out and to hang out. So their friends also came and hung out. So it didn't look like anybody made a ton of money. So I'm like, good. Still not ever going to do that one again. But other than that, I don't even know what's coming up. I'm doing the... Is that next month? Next month? Or April? April. April 6th, I'm doing Flagler Beach, or Palm Coast, at their library. They're doing an event. It's a free table. I did one with them many, many years ago, maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I'm going to do that one again. They asked me to if I was interested. And that was, I think, the Saturday, the week before we go away to, I go to AuthorCon. So, yep, I'm doing that one. Because again, it's at the library. It's literally 2 blocks from the tattoo place where my son works. So I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to hang out with. I'm sure Shelly will go with me, and then we're going to hang out with. We'll hang out with my son for dinner or something. So yeah. They actually sent me a message and asked if because I had done it in the past. I had done events with in their library system years ago. I had done a thing with them where they paid me. It's like $100 gift card to come in and do a talk, and that was pretty neat. I've done that in Ormond Beach as well. So whenever you get paid, even if it's, hey, here's a Visa gift card. Yeah, paid. Yeah. So when they were like, hey, do you want to come in? You want to do this this event? You know, it's a free table, and it's only like 4 hours or something. I was like, I'm in. I just said to my son, hey, I'm going to be there from this time to this time. He's like, good, then just come over and hang out at the tattoo place, and then we can go grab something to eat. There you go. So I'm doing that one. I'm not getting paid for that one, but I'm not also, they're not charging me for a table. So I'm really seriously debating at AuthorCon of bringing all of my, just every horror book I have, and then basically doing like a $5 or something. Just get rid of shit, and just clean a lot of room out. I got a lot of old stuff there. I should be getting copies of some of the Dying Days books, of the 9 books, to refill, because people are asking for, they want to buy all 9 books to complete run at AuthorCon. So I'm only going to have 5 sets there, and I'm only selling them as a set. Because all it's going to take is one asshole to come up and buy, oh, I just want book 1. And be like, yeah, no. Yeah, no, it's all 9. I'm selling all 9 books for $75, which is a great, great price. And I'll even throw in another book. I'll probably put another book in there as well. Probably the young adult, the zombie Dying Days young adult one. Maybe I'll throw that in as a 10th book. That'd be a good price, $75 for 10 books. Or I'll throw it in one of the many anthologies. Who can say? I just want to I want to load the car with every book I have, and then sell as many as possible. So that's the goal. Shelly's also been looking into. She's going to get the back for the pickup. You know, the thing that not like a big old person stand up thing, like where the thing where it closes, so I can put like 40 crates in the back filled with books. So we might do that. Who knows? All right, I'm not writing anymore on this story. Maybe I'll write a little bit later on, but I'm pretty much wrapping this up now. Appreciate everybody hanging out. Now tomorrow I might be on. I don't know if I'm gonna be on like early or late or something, but I'll probably be on. I know tonight when my wife gets home, we got to go pick up a rental car for her, and because she's going to Atlanta, she's got to go to Atlanta tomorrow, so she might be going just for tomorrow, or she might be going Tuesday into Wednesday, depending on the meetings and stuff. So I'll be on my own again tomorrow, but I will have the pickup. And Frank, Tom, I will have your packages going in the mail tomorrow, and I sold some baseball cards. Those packages will be going in the mail tomorrow, so I will actually be leaving the house, which will be nice. So otherwise, we're all good. Thank you very much for hanging out. I appreciate it. Resubscribe on using your Twitch Prime. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you're watching this later on the YouTube, I appreciate if you would hit that subscribe button there as well. It doesn't cost you anything. It saves lives.